Hello, welcome to Dad Doesn't Have Time for This, a show review things quickly and compare them to everything else in existence. I love the Xenoblade franchise and its red-headed stepchild, Xenoblade Chronicles X, for the Wii U, a game that very few people played because it was on the Wii U. And it's a shame, because this game was amazing. It came with this cool art book and a soundtrack. The soundtrack for this game is bonkers. It's a weird mix of like new metal and like hard rock and rap. It's weird. It is completely dissonant from the rest of the Xenoblade soundtracks, but for this weird game, it works. And I may have had some minor gripes that would have been nice if they would have fixed them. Oh wait, they did fix them all in the definitive edition on the Switch, which also has an upgrade for like $5 for the Switch 2, which is kind of worth it. I was gonna get had I known they were releasing it on the Switch 2, I would have bought that version. I would have just waited and bought that version, but I didn't. So here we are. And I have to say, this is the 18th best game of all time. That is a very contentious place to put it on a list of the all-time video games. I am aware that I am way too into this franchise. But yes, Xenoblade Chronicles X is my 18th best game of all time. And now I'm going to tell you why. So here's the thing with these games. These games are like an excellent home-cooked meal to me. They're just a warm, cozy place I can go and roam around. And prior to Breath of the Wild, I think this may have been the first game where I really had that sense of like just crazy levels of exploration in a world that just seemed like so vast. And then as the game went on, you're like, oh yeah, I can get there. Oh, I can get there. Yeah, I can get there. It's that same sort of vibe that Breath of the Wild gave me before Breath of the Wild came out, which is another reason why this is so high on my list. The Switch version actually fixes a lot of the minor nuisances I had, such as how long it took to gain affinity points, and also how painful it was to keep all of the characters leveled up. So they fixed it so that like characters who aren't in your active party still gain experience points, so that you don't end up with like Doug 30 levels behind and never able to use him again. They also seem to have made finding these side missions and heart-to-hearts a lot easier. It's just a lot of the nuisances in the game were just cleaned up. Aside from the lobsters, those are still a pain to find. There's just so many lobsters. So many stuffed lobsters. If you like lobster plushies, and you like searching for lobster plushies in a cyberpunk anime city, this is the game for you, because there's 100 lobsters to find in this city. But that's just a minor side quest. The game is a little bit more of an open world MMO vibe than the other games. The other games have large, expansive worlds, yes, but they feel a little bit more guided. This one is a lot more open. You can literally go to every single continent in the game within like the first 30 minutes if you really wanted to. You would never survive the journey to the some of the other ones, but if you were willing to swim really far out of your way, you can get to almost every single inch of the game right out the get-go. There's a few spots that you have to be able to fly to, and oh, how wonderful it is when you get your mechs. This, as they call them, skells in this game. There's just it. This is the most fun I've had in a mech combat situation since Armored Core. And the combat in this is so much more forgiving than Armored Core, although I do love Armored Core. I haven't played Armored Core in so long. I really should go back and play those games. So, it's super sci-fi anime. You've got giant robots. You've got a killer soundtrack. Monolith Soft squeezes every inch of power you need out of the system. It looks great on the Switch 2. I know some people complained about the Switch 2 port. I didn't notice anything wrong. The frame rate was always fine. The textures looked like a good upgrade from the Wii U version. I really don't know what people are complaining about. They added 4 additional characters, some NPCs that weren't previously in the game, and some new ones altogether. And the best part about the Switch version, the definitive version, is that they went and tied up all the loose ends. The original game ends on like a cliffhanger, and you have no idea what's gonna happen next. You really want to know what's gonna happen next, and then they made me wait 10 years to find out what happens next, which was a little annoying, but it's such a good game. I'd forgotten how much they want you to eat the Nopon in this game. They really want you to murder and eat your Nopon companion. Sadly, as far as I can tell, there's no way to murder and eat your Nopon companion. But they do try. It was a noble effort, Lynn. Very noble indeed. Let's see here. Anything else with it? It's got kind of like the combat systems, like kind of like a MMO style. Gauges fill up, you pick the appropriate attack. If I only had one gripe about some of the systems is there's a lot of different classes you can pick, and I'm OCD to the point where instead of just picking the class I want, I have to max out every single class. And in the 120 hours it took me to get through the game, I got all but I think 1 or 2 of the classes maxed out. I think 1 was left to max out. And that's just a minor gripe. I would have preferred to just, I don't know why I'm so OCD like this. I should have just picked the class I like and stuck with it. But I can't do that. I have to, as soon as I stop accruing experience points, I have to switch classes and put them in the other classes. That's just how I am. That's how I'm wired. It's a rough life, but someone has to live it. So, cast is great. I like the new characters. We finally find out who that mysterious person was with Lao at the end of the first game. We finally find out who the teammate that was missing that people keep bringing up but refusing to talk about. Like, so many of the questions about what prompted the destruction of Earth, Elma's planet, they just answer all these things that were just left up in the air. And yes, there's not like a definitive ending in that the game, there's one whole new chapter and one extra continent that they add to the game, and at the end of it, they leave you in a situation where it's a reasonable stopping point, but they can very easily make a whole nother game. I know Xenoblade Genesis is next, so we're not going to get another X anytime soon. Although I wouldn't mind another X if they had it in them. And if they don't, and this is the last of the X series, I'm okay with that. Like, they fixed everything that was wrong. They fixed enough of the loose threads that you don't feel like you were cheated out of the proper ending. The ending's solid. The characters are great. Your silent protagonist goes hard on the silent. That's okay. And yeah. Great story, great game. Story's a little bit lighter than the other ones, but this game's more about exploration than it is about the story, so that's okay. Love the game. Like I said, it's the 18th best game of all time, the 3rd best Xenoblade game of all time, and I love it. It's a great game, and I hope you guys take the time to play it. Let me know what you think, and have a great day. I'll talk to you later. Thanks. Bye.